So interesting when we're talking about something that we know we should be doing that we're not all necessarily real comfortable doing. In fact, we're still looking for the silver bullet. How we go from 40 people yesterday to 24 today. Crazy. And yet we know this is what we got to do. So I love that today I only wanted to cover one chapter, chapter 2, which is all about the mindset. A lot of these mindset elements, by the way, cross over to the attributes, which we read before. So I want you guys to dive in, and I really want to hear from you. I don't want Coach telling you what you should be doing. I want to hear you owning, okay, here's a place, this content hit me, I'm going to lean into that. So what do you guys have from chapter 2 of Fanatical Prospect?
Celeste was starting.
Go, Celeste. Hit us up.
Well, I just was pointing out, like, of the different kinds that I see here, if you don't relate to any of these specifically, I think what in my impression is, I think you're missing out on the benefits of prospecting, which is that you may feel negative when you think, oh, I've got to go prospect. But on the same token, on the opposite side of it is when you get in relation with someone on the phone, or at least starting a relationship, if you can change your mindset that there's a purpose, you are here for a purpose. And what is that purpose? Well, the purpose could be, obviously, you're looking for more business, but how about you flip that around and think, who are you to the person you're about to talk with? How are you representing what you're presenting? Because I walk into a relationship with anyone that talks about real estate, and I am confident. I'm confident enough to know I don't have all the answers, but I know how to find them. So I walk into that relationship with a servant attitude, and with that, I kind of move forward in the process with them. I don't think anyone who is in a sales position will ever be thought of negatively if their mindset is, I'm here to serve. And I could be wrong, guys, but that's how I see it. And I was bringing up the competition, the competitive person, and I was thinking, who do we know that's competitive in this room? We know a lot of them.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate it. You opened with this section on getting rid of the negativity. Positive, optimistic, as it says here in section 1, optimistic and enthusiastic. Fanatical prospectors have a winning, optimistic mindset. They know that negative, bitter people with a victim mindset do not succeed in sales. I'm curious, those that have been around me quite a while, have been in this coaching world with me, what are some behaviors of people in victim mindsets?
They blame somebody else for what they're experiencing.
Yeah.
They blame?
They skip class.
What was that?
They skip class.
They skip, they don't show up, absolutely.
They don't take personal action.
Don't take personal action. I'll add to that, they don't take personal responsibility. And they justify all of that. And they go, oh, I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that one. And the key is it really getting you to your goal? I refuse to be realistic. In fact, we're going to have some fun with that in a moment. I'm going to bring up that quote. That being said, what else do you guys have?
I appreciate on page 9 that this is a follow through on what we're saying. Mindset, a mental attitude or inclination. It can be defined as a mood, disposition, inclination, or intention. And even more, mindset is completely and absolutely within your control and drives both the actions you take and the reactions, your reactions to the environment around you. It's a choice. And a lot of us don't realize that it's a choice. It also, when somebody looks at this, they think golden retriever. They think the high I. There is no limitation about who can accomplish these things, whatever your mindset. If you are, pure accountant, but all you want to do is stay behind the the books and the pencil, you still can make all of these same choices that somebody else does, because if you're an accountant, you probably have a business and you get to build it. And these are things that, when the vision becomes clear, the activity arises.
Absolutely. When the vision becomes clear, what a great point. Really seeing what we want. And again, not through reasonable lenses. Camacho, I've seen your mic coming on. What do you got, brother?
Two things. I can't remember if it's the book Shift or The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Gary Keller's talking about when he got his real estate license, he learned very early on that his phone wasn't going to ring. People were not going to call him, and he had to start learning how to lead generate. And he says he was not good at it. As a matter of fact, he describes himself as being pretty sucky at it. However, it was a requirement for success. So he started doing it on a regular basis. And lo and behold, the more he did it, the better he got. And the better he got, the more enjoyable and fun the conversations were. And the more enjoyable and fun the conversations were, the more success he had. So there's a lot of similarities because even the author in this book, prospecting just sucks. And so what I'd like to add is, starting on page 10, there were 7 mindsets. And as I was going through, it would be kind of a cool idea. And I kind of wrote this in the margin of my book. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 with each mindset, and figure out where there might be a domino that we need to work on, whether it's consistency, whether it's enthusiasm. There's a whole lot of great ones, and my consistency is up and down, peaks and valleys, and that is something that I must really get straight in order to have the long-term success. So those are 2 thoughts. Hello?
Russ, you muted.
You're muted, Russ. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Hey, I got my mic back on. Thanks. I was saying, let's do these for you, Camacho. Let's go through these 7 and put them in, because not everybody has read the material, possibly. Not everybody maybe got the book. So let's read them into the room. Number 1, and I'd love for you guys to write these down. And again, rate yourself, as Robert said. Number 1, optimistic and enthusiastic. Number 2, competitive. Number 3, confident. Number 4, relentless. Number 5, thirsty for knowledge. Number 6, systematic and efficient. And number 7, adaptable and flexible. I'm going to go through it one more time. Number 1, optimistic and enthusiastic. Number 2, competitive. Number 3, confident. Number 4, relentless. Number 5, thirsty for knowledge. And number 6, systematic and efficient. And number 7, adaptive and flexible. Those 7. He starts the chapter by saying, we always hear this, success leaves clues. When you duplicate those patterns, you'll be able to duplicate their success. So these are the 7. What do you guys have on these? Andres, I saw your mic hot. What do you got? And again, I may mute as a weather band is coming through. Is anybody else hearing Andres?
No, I'll jump in.
All right, we'll test again. Aaron, go for it. I see your mic's hot. What do you got, brother?
Yeah, I just thinking about one thing that helps me, because I think we all suck at prospecting the first time we start. Just like we all suck at everything the first time we start doing it. And that is self-defeating, but also something to celebrate type of quality. I think I spent years in China learning to speak Chinese, and the whole time I was there, every day I felt like I was getting worse. But after a month or so of that, you look back and you realize you've made progress. So one of the things that I work on for myself that maybe help others is knowledge that progress sucks in a sense. Like in the moment of progress, you feel like you're going backwards because you're experiencing this growth. But if you push through that with the knowledge that it's improving you, that can help you put your mindset back and give you the space to keep going. So that's my thought for y'all.
I love it. I love it. What else you guys have? Let me see who's in the chat. Dave, I fell off and had to log back in. No idea if anybody saw or responded. Dave, speak up. Tell us what you're talking about, and we'll give you insights.
Morning. So I'm jumping on a day late. I missed yesterday. I just wanted to know which chapters we're covering in total today and which tomorrow. That's all.
Nice. So today, chapter 2, the mindset piece. Though you can always bring in some more of chapter 1 in the case for prospecting, like Jeanette did. And then tomorrow, you guys are going to do 3 and 4 because there is a high probability that I will be without electricity and or internet tomorrow. So I'm just giving you guys heads up that I'm expecting you to lead this. So Dave, make sure tomorrow, camera's working, you're showing up. You are a leader. I've had a wonderful time working with you the last year plus, and I know you could step up and bring incredible insights into this room. What else you guys have?
My mic should work now.
Go for it, Andres. I hear you now.
Two things I just wanted to mention on page 10 is that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you study what successful people do, you find patterns. And when you duplicate those patterns, you will duplicate their success. The following chapter, starting on that, is developing and maintaining the fanatical prospect mindset. The ultimate key to success in sales, the mindset keeps you focused, persistent, and driven to open doors in the face of inevitable setbacks, challenges, and rejection. When you adopt the fanatical prospect mindset, you will grow in the face of adversity rather than shrinking before it. So, and like Coach Robert mentioned, grading the 7 fanatical prospect, we all have some degree of it. Figuring out how to take it to the next level will be the component in staying in that mindset.
Coach, are you referencing me? He's pointing to the screen. So I'm just going to say, yeah, he's pointing to me. I wanted to add, I went to a conference, convention a couple years back for another company I used to be with, initials KW. And one of the guys that was a new agent went to this convention with the mindset he wanted to meet as many people in person as he could. And he had one great question he asked everyone he met. And that question was simply, tell me something unique about you that no one else would know, or that it's a story no one else would believe. And he asked everyone that question. And on the back of the card, he would write down like a suggestion about that story so he could remember it later. And he met 700 people at this convention out of, however many thousand. But 700 is a really tall order. And what happened afterwards was he was actually invited by the magazine that this company puts out to tell his story of what he learned. How did he go about meeting everybody, especially since he was a new agent? And he said the best part about it was that people enjoyed being asked what was unique about themselves. And it was also asked of him, what were the top 3 stories? And so he was given the opportunity to say what he thought were the best of. And what I'm telling you this story for is because one of those stories was mine. And someday you'll hear my story. But I will tell you, I was almost jealous of his mission because I hadn't thought of it first. And I think all of us could use that attitude in our prospecting, that when we're talking to people, don't forget to be a human being. Don't always go just to the script. Really take a moment and listen to what people are saying in front of you. And maybe, just maybe, they may be able to tell you something that will connect the two of you.
I'll add on to that.
Thank you.
I'll add on to that. I like that very much. And I've done that in kind of a rebellion, in that if I don't feel connected with that person, I don't want to talk to them either. So why would they want to talk to me? So I will just make a friend and see where we can find something in common. And then see what needs they have in regards to real estate. And if I can help them with that. And if I can't, where can I refer them? Rather than, well, yesterday when I was doing calls, I've stopped mentioning at the beginning that I'm eXp Realty because I get feedback, I get resistance. I don't want to get recruited. So I don't even mention that. And I always apologize. I'm so sorry. We're trying to ask people not to recruit, but a lot of the new people haven't learned that yet. So I didn't call to recruit you. I called to say, how are you? And can we send each other some business? And sometimes they believe me and sometimes they don't. But we do have that out there as a reputation because a lot of people apparently are doing that. But anyway, thank you for saying that, Celeste, because I'm right on there with you. That they're human beings. They're, you just went to school and you met all the new kids. So you get to know them.
So let's go back to this mindset piece. I just jetted inside from my office as a weatherman came through and blew me out of there. Kind of fun. And you said something key there, Dorothy, that again, this is what a mindset reframe would be. We as agents don't have a reputation. There's a story out there. Now we can look through our lens on, are we playing into that story or are we doing things radically different? Are we acting like renegades and behaving the opposite direction of the stream? Let's think about the last 3-4 months in the real estate community. Were we buying into all the negative chatter? Were we participating in all the woe is me, litigation, things are going to be horrible, the industry's going to die? Or were we challenging people's thinking? Were we instead saying, it's no biggie, it's no different, you should have been doing this anyway? Where are you guys stepping up with that confidence? One of these 7 elements of mindset that you're changing our world. In fact, go for it, Doug. Then I'm going to come back. Go.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Russ. I saw the proactiveness of all of us. I saw thought leadership. I saw, look, guys, we're still just negotiating. This is what we do. We're in the sales industry. That's what we do. We always negotiate what our fees are. We work off of negotiated deals all the time. How much it sells for, as much as how much we get paid. So, and then again, all the leadership in the form of developing the forms. Even we had a 1-page buyer's representation form before anybody else did. So this is a place of mindset leadership for sure, and it showed up very well in this situation, and is continuing to, as tomorrow we're having a script session about how to handle this. So yep. I think we've done a great job in that.
So here's where I want to go with this on the quote I was looking for before I got blown out of my office. Because I said a lot of people that are going negative will say, I'm not negative, I'm just being realistic. And I will use the word reasonable as a synonym for realistic. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. I want you guys to be unreasonable. I want you to be not only unreasonable with what's going on out there, with what's going on in here as well. Be unreasonable with that drunk monkey mind that's telling you you can't be a prospector or telling you not to do it today. Be unreasonable with the story that comes up of why you can't make that call in the moment, and watch how dramatically different your life becomes. Justin, I see a mic hot, and same with you, Ryan.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in on that and tie it back to those 7 mindsets. And right before you got blown out of your office, you read those off and you asked us to rate ourselves on those. And I did, just like I would rate myself on any given topic on a 1 to 10 scale. There was only one that I would, and I do rate myself particularly low in one of those categories. But then I did an average over the 7, and I came up with that I'm rating myself at 60% of what I'm capable of with regards to mindset. I think that this reasonable or realistic, another word that's synonymous, I don't know if that's a synonym, whatever, would be like average. So if we rate ourselves, if I rate myself, in school, I think average was 70 some percent, 2.5, whatever. So I'm rating myself below average, but I'd like to have an above average life. I'd like to have unrealistic expectations for most of the world at large. And yet I'm rating myself as showing up slightly below average. So I would say my results, given my self-analysis or rating of my mindset, is extraordinary. And I just think that that's huge. Like, I'm really glad that you had us rate ourselves that way. And
my goal with this, Justin, is to have you just get real. We say get real to get right. So when you see a place that's maybe not as high as you would like, then by all means, lean into improving that attribute. Lean into continuing to develop that and grow in that space. Being in this room, by the way, guys, you're already doing it. You're already working on all of these core attributes. Now it's time to plus your game. So Ryan Van Ornum, I see your mic's hot too. What you got, brother?
So what I got is this: take massive action first. All right. All of these attributes, all of these concepts to go into your mindset are fantastic. If you're sitting around talking about it, you ain't actually doing the work. Okay. So the biggest thing that I can say, Coach Russ is a living example of this. When he started in the game, he had 25 listings within his first 90 days. Let's go, guys. I didn't cold call when I started, and it killed me. I had 7 months before my first closing, but I networked. I was in 8 networking groups a week, and then all of a sudden the snowball hit because I was freaking resilient. And that's the point. I won Rookie of the Year at my last brokerage because of that point of being consistently there every single day, showing up. The biggest thing I can say, my biggest glaring thing is I've had to leverage systematic inefficiencies. Okay. Being able to take what you don't have at a high level, maybe leverage to somebody else that is more systematic than you are, and you go and do what you are good at. Okay. That's the biggest thing that I can see is being able to utilize people at a high level, leverage them, not use them, leverage people at a high level to to increase your success too. So many solo agents want to do everything on their own, and we're not meant to do everything on our own. We suck at a lot of stuff. I suck at a lot of stuff, and I leverage that stuff out. So what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? You be good at what you're good at and leverage the other pieces out. And that's what I'm taking from this piece right here. You
Awesome.
know, we can't think about it. We got to do it, guys.
Well, great content on that. The only thing I want to adjust, Ryan, instead of use people, collaborate with people. You got a whole room right here, and that's what I want to lean into for tomorrow, because I'm probably not going to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know how many days we'll not have power, etc. And so I'm looking to collaborate with the leaders in this room. Dave, it's great to see you in here. I know you can. Mark, Camacho, Ryan, Matt, so many of you in here. Rhonda, I know you've got it. Jeanette and Doug, everybody in here. So please, not just in this room at 9 Central, lead in the 2 to 5 o'clock block, helping people actually prospect. Think about it, Celeste. You show up as a leader, you tell people get here, and you're doing the work, showing them how it's done. Why do you guys think I started that 2 to 5 o'clock block in the first place? Thank you, Tom. Tom just pointed the finger right at me.
So you would do the work.
Accountable to do it. If I'm a leader, I got to be doing it, or I suck as a leader. And so I set it up. I showed up, constantly doing it. I'm looking for you guys to do the same now. So let me kill the recording. Thank you guys for filling